Hey everybody, welcome back to the weekly challenge. We are almost halfway through the week, and that means we will be halfway through this challenge at the end. And we have a really interesting auction so far on this hand. Our partner opened one spade, and our right-hand opponent overcalled two spades, which is the Michaels Cubid. This shows 5 hearts and 5 of one of those minor suits. So they are strong, not strong. They have a 2-suited hand. We have some strength over here, obviously. The question is, what do we bid? And you might have come up with 2 different answers out there. The best bid, or the one I want to discuss at least, is the Cubid. And this is an extra step. We have to understand that our right-hand opponent is bidding spades, which is in itself is a Cubid. But what are they showing? What are they announcing to the table? They're announcing a heart suit, right? So they are bidding spades in order to show hearts, the suit that we know they have at least 5 cards in, right? They have 5 or more cards in that heart suit. So 2 spades could be kind of similar to this bid as far as our understanding of it. We know it's more specific because it contains a second 5-card suit, but it's equivalent to showing this. And that's the step you need to take to get to the right call. 3 hearts would be a limit raise or better in spades. And what I like to say, that it's a good 10 or more with at least 3 or more spades, right? At least 3 spades. So here, that's how we Cubid when the opponents have shown a different suit, right? So it looks a little weird, but it should make sense to you logically if you think about it. The other choice would be double, which would be penalty in nature. The thing is, I mean, if I knew my opponent had, if my opponent had hearts and diamonds, you might be a little more tempted to make a penalty double here because you have both of those suits, but they rate to have hearts and clubs, and our left-hand opponent is more likely to kind of get them out to one of those minor suits. However, the other thing that's happening here is we're vulnerable and they are not, right? So we're gonna, if we expect to make game, and we should with a hand that's this good, opposite partner's opening hand, we're going to usually make more playing the hand than defending a low-level contract like the 3 club level, something like that. So here, I'm just going to make a Cubid, raise in spades, and then watch this. When partner bids 3, we just kick it into game, right? We know we have enough for game. So partner's saying, hey, I can't play game opposite your 10. And we're saying, well, okay, I have more than 10, right? So let's do this. It's a fun one. I love this hand. You can see how we're going to play this pretty much from the jump because of what's happened with the robot auction. The spade suit's going to be fun. If it doesn't break evenly, we have a way to kind of maybe take an extra trick in this suit, or at least avoid a loser. But first things first, you guys see maybe one of those regular strategies that we can employ on this hand? All right, what's going on in one of the suits that we might take advantage of right away? All right, so we might ruff a club in the short hand, right? The south hand. The south hand is short in clubs and is relatively short in the trump suit, so it's a suit that we certainly can get rid of a loser with in that dummy at some point. And that's something you might want to do right away. The risk is maybe it gets over ruffed, but that doesn't seem as likely to be happening. But we can maybe try something else here and just play low and see if they're leading away from something. Very unlikely. I'm just going to actually get to the business of doing this right away. And you can see the problem with that. They rough that second club. So now they had diamonds and hearts. And here we kind of know what's happening in this heart suit. Look at that. And now we're just going to draw some trump. What we really hope is that ruff kind of shorten them to enough of a degree for us to be able to do this. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're getting maybe a little bit extra help. The problem is we have no entry to dummy now, right? So at least the spades are broken now. So if we wanted to do that again, we would have no way to get over there. But luckily, we've actually been able to draw the trump because of the ruff. And now we'll pitch away that club instead of having to ruff it on one of these good red cards over here. So we can claim. And let's see, maybe, I guess if we draw a couple rounds of trump and let's see, could we have made an extra trick there if we draw trump first? I think maybe. Nah, yeah, it's just going to end up trading tricks for us. Unfortunately, it looks like we are destined to just take one over trick on this hand, no matter what we do. Because look at that, the spade loser we took was destined to happen, right? We actually played the king of clubs and it was roughed, but that allowed us to just solve the spade suit for no losers from that point. If we're just going to be playing spades ourselves, we're probably going to play a spade to the ace and then maybe a spade to the 9 to guard against a bad break, and we'll lose a spade trick in that wash anyway. All right, so good stuff. We'll take it. A match point score that should be pretty average, we would guess. The double of 2 hearts might be interesting. I guess we would take, well, they would choose a minor. They might even play clubs on this hand. My goodness. It's a weird hand for sure. So what would West have done if we made a penalty double? I mean, would they just bail out to clubs? But would partner even understand? That would usually be pass or correct, so partner would just be deciding to bid 3 diamonds. I mean, we might have gone significantly plus, but would it have been 650? I don't know. I doubt the robot is going to have that auction, but we'll tip our caps to them if they do. All right, board 6. So this is the same situation we had earlier, right? We have now a better singleton, basically the stiff queen, and let's give this a roll here. I still like opening a diamond in a real sense most of the time, but this is a slightly different situation with the singleton queen, and I kind of want to see the difference. So this is an experimentation bid, guys. I would recommend always opening this a diamond, but because we've already seen as a hand like this and opened a minor, let's open a no trump and get some compare and contrast situations. And yeah, this is classic. So when you actually get to the business of bidding a no trump with a singleton, usually the opponents are going to try to find fits in one of those suits, right? When you open with a singleton major, it's almost guaranteed partner's going to transfer into it. It's just like Murphy's Law. So here, at least we're winning a little bit. This is a weird choice by the robot as far as system. They play something called minor suit Stayman, and this is basically just asking about our minor suits, just like Stayman would. We're going to be honest. We're just going to show our diamond suit. This 3 spade bid is shortness. I mean, this is awful for us. We want to bid 3 no trump, but we can see if they lead a spade, right? We are basically just going to be left to a spot where the spade stopper goes bye-bye. And now we're wide open in a suit that we know the opponents have 8 cards in, right? So I am unwilling to bid 3 no trump, even though it might be the best thing I can do. I'm just going to kind of bid 4 diamonds and hope my partner just bails out. But they bid game, and we'll hope we're getting this one right. Okay. I mean, we might lose all of our tricks in diamonds, but we still can be pretty successful on this one. So let's play low. Boom. We will win this with the 8. No reason not to start drawing some trump. Let's just make sure we have no information from the auction here. We can do really anything we want at this point, but I'm just going to lead a low diamond towards that queen. Bingo. That is dividing evenly. We're hoping we're not going to have any sort of disaster here. And I think we can just claim the rest, yes. All right, so let's see. If we played no trump, we would have been on a spade lead, especially in some pretty rough waters. Let's see if our choice was good here. We don't have our diamonds set up, unfortunately, right? So if they lead a spade, we can take, I mean, we're in a lot of trouble. We did very well to stay the heck away from no trump. Robot has just such a whack job of a hand. We're very lucky to get to the right spot. Hopefully opening a diamond wouldn't have gotten us to 6 diamonds. That's the only thing I would worry about on this hand. Luckily, in match points, it's not that devastating. But take a look. If we open a diamond, I wonder what lefty would do. I don't think they would think they're strong enough to make a Michael's bid, so it'll probably go pass, and North will make an inverted minor suit raise, maybe. We'll try to play no trump. Maybe we'll end up playing 5 diamonds anyway. We're going to circle this one. This is going to be a fun one to look at, and hopefully I can remember that board 6 was super interesting by the time we get to Friday. But here, definitely one I want to take a look at and see what would have happened had we opened a diamond, which I'm sure the robot's going to do. But I don't think we can be too upset about going plus 420 when we can see no Trump would have been pretty terrible on any sort of reasonable defense. So luckily we stayed out of a bad spot, and it must be the 4th of July or my birthday because I just played 5 of a minor, and it's really neither of those guys. So this is one of those rare times where 5 of a minor is much preferred to 3 no Trump. 6 of a minor might have been amazing too, but again, that diamond suit doesn't have to be that amazingly distributed for us, but with 10 it's unlikely we're going to get in too much trouble. All right, here's where we're going to start Thursday, guys. Look at this. Look at the shape of these hands. We're getting a lot of unbalanced hands here. Our scores look pretty good. We would much prefer imps, I think, in this sheet, but we're playing match points. So even though these scores look amazing, I wouldn't guess us to be too far ahead. I think maybe that board 3 is probably a win. Maybe board 1 isn't. The rest appeared to be relatively normal, but who knows? We'll find out in a couple of days. Join me for those 2 days, tomorrow and Friday, as we finish this weekly challenge. And until then, guys, I will see you very soon.